What is going on? Welcome to another TubeBuddy live stream. My name is Nick Nimmin, and if you want to learn how to use TubeBuddy, the tool, you want to learn how to grow your channel on YouTube and do all types of other creative YouTube-y type stuff, make sure that you subscribe to the TubeBuddy channel right now. So today, I'm going to be sharing some tips with you that a lot of people aren't even talking about in terms of, things that YouTubers need to be doing, things that YouTubers need to be keeping track of, things that YouTubers just need to be mindful of in general. That's what we're going to be talking about today. So real quick, I want to thank TubeBuddy for letting me on the channel. I want to thank Andrew for moderating the chat right now. Thank you. And I also want to let you know that if you have any questions that you want me to answer once we get into the Q&A portion of the show, make sure that you go ahead and add them to the form that is down in the description right now. And those are answered in a first come, first serve basis. So all of you that are here right now, you're winning because you get to get your questions in there first. So you can almost guarantee that's not very confident, but they're most likely going to get answered. So today we're talking about the important YouTube advice that nobody is giving you. And the very first one on this list is to network with other YouTubers. Now, a lot of people, they underestimate this, right? They think, well, it's not that important that I am networking with other YouTubers because I'm on YouTube, I'm doing my own thing, right? It's all about me, I'm doing my stuff, and that's all that matters. But at the end of the day, really, you want to be networking with as many YouTubers as you possibly can. And the reason for that is because you don't know, one, who's going to become a really good friend. Two, you also don't know which person in your group of people that are all coming up together, you don't know who it is that's going to end up doing better to help pull the other people up. So you might be that person. One of your friends that you are networking with might be that person. And there's other things too that come along with networking with other content creators. For example, when you're networking with other content creators, if you are looking in your stats and you want to find what's normal and you don't know, then you can just reach out to your YouTube buddies and you can be like, hey, I'm looking at my stats and I see this and I'm just wanting to know if this is something that is normal or not. Let me see what your stats are. Let me see what your stats are. Let me see what your stats are on this same exact thing. So you can also get that idea of what normal looks like when it comes to your stats, because you have other people that are doing a similar thing. You also have things like tech, right? Like when you build a network of other content creators, you also have things like tech. So for example, let's say that you're thinking of upgrading a camera. You can hop on YouTube, you can watch all the tutorials, you can go on Amazon, you can look and see, the reviews that people are giving. But what's even more powerful than that is if you have somebody that's using it in a similar way that you are, to where you can say, hey, I'm thinking about getting this camera, I want to upgrade. I know you're using this camera. What do you think about this? Are you enjoying it? Do you have like a special lens that you think that I should use with this camera instead of what comes with it? And you get that like insider input, so to speak. And if you live locally to that person, then you can also actually borrow it, take it for a test drive, see how the camera does for you for your specific use. But it works that way all the way across the board for microphones and all that stuff. Having that instant feedback from somebody that you are friends with or somebody that you know because you've opened up those doors through networking can be very, very advantageous for all of us, really. The next one on the list, of course, is being prepared for opportunities. Now, this one is really, really, I'm going to say really a couple more times, but it's really underestimated. And the reason that it's really underestimated is because a lot of people, they think, hey, my YouTube channel, I'm like just getting going in this stuff. Or they think, hey, my YouTube channel is doing fine, but, I don't really have any like plans or, like whatever. But they're not really preparing for the opportunities that are going to come as your YouTube channel grows or as your YouTube channel gets bigger or as you gain more influence. Because, like as you start cruising through this process and as you start picking up momentum, or if you have momentum already, you're already experiencing people are sending you emails like crazy, right? And when you have an important brand to where you're like, yeah, I definitely want to work with him, and they reach out to you, it's important that you're prepared for that opportunity. It's also important that you're prepared for other opportunities as well. that are in the same realm. For example, have a media kit, right? That's a thing that you can do to prepare for opportunities. You have a media kit, and that media kit basically just gives your stats. It lets you know it lets the person that you're possibly working with, it lets them know, hey, this is what I have to offer. This is who my audience is. This is what's going on basically with my YouTube channel. So if you end up working with me, this is all of the stuff. And in addition to letting them know what all of your stuff is, it also helps you look professional, because professional people like to work with professional people. Because if you're a mess and that professional, company is reaching out to you and you're a mess, they're going to be like, you know what? They don't really have their stuff together. So let's find somebody that has their stuff together. But if you are prepared for this stuff and you have your stuff together, then you're going to be more likely to get those deals. Another thing that's important in terms of preparation is knowing your value. TubeBuddy actually partners with a company called socialbluebook.com. And with socialbluebook.com, they basically give you a general range of, like on the low end and then on the high end based on what's going on with your channel. And that's extremely valuable because a lot of people starting out, I was just talking with a friend here that's visiting town a few days ago, and he was saying, I don't even know what to charge. Do you have any recommendations for me and all of that? And the first thing I recommended to him is like, well, let's go into your Social Blue Book and see what's going on in there. So knowing your values, at least having a rough idea, can keep you from underselling yourself. Because here's the thing, you're putting out content on the internet, people are watching it, your content is valuable, what you are doing is valuable, and making sure that you know your value so that none of these companies take advantage of you is extremely, extremely important. Another thing in that regard is to save money, right? This one sounds basic, but saving money is extremely important as well. And the reason for that is because events, right? Events happen. Like, it's advantageous for you as a content creator to go to Vid Summit. It's advantageous for you to go to Social Media Marketing World. It's advantageous for you to go to VidCon, right? And to go through these things. You can do some of your networking there, as a matter of fact, and build deeper relationships with the people that you've been talking to online. But in addition to that, when you're also saving money as part of your preparation as a YouTuber or content creators in general, one, you're saving for events. Two, your gear eventually, you're going to have to upgrade your gear, or you're going to have to get new gear. Your gear is going to break, right? And then what are you going to do, right? If you're not prepared for that situation. So having it is going to help you, preparing in terms of saving money is going to help you deal with things like that as well. So making sure that you are prepared all the way across the board for everything is extremely important, but making sure that you're prepared financially so that you can take advantage of some of these events. If you wanted to run ad campaigns or something like that, let's say that you wanted to build a website, you got to be able to pay for hosting and that sort of thing. If depending on the type of content that you have, if you are, going to do courses or anything like that, then you're going to have to pay for those kinds of things. And, all the way across the board, all of this stuff costs money, right? So making sure that you can buy a computer if you need to in the future, and all that is part of preparing for your job as a content creator. Next one up here on the list is to give your content purpose. Now, I know this one sounds a little bit weird, but when you give your content purpose, let me break this down real quick. When you give your content purpose, basically what you are doing is you are saying, when I release this particular piece of content, this is what this piece of content is designed to do, right? So if you are making a video about a specific thing, you say, okay, and this all falls into content strategy, which is a whole other topic itself, but you can say, okay, this particular video here, I'm putting this one out for the sake, thanks, Andrew, saying for the sake, I'm putting this one out for the sake of making sure that I am driving some traffic to affiliate links. I'm putting out this video because my community really responds to this type of content. So I want to put out this video to make sure that I'm serving my community that's already there. Then you're going to say, okay, well, this specific piece of content, this is something that typically generates new people coming into my channel. So I need to make sure that I'm also putting out videos like that. So every single piece of content that you put out, you say, this is what this particular piece of content is for, and you know every single time that you upload, this is something that is helping me work towards whatever it happens to be. If it's that affiliate video for money, if it's that subscriber video for the sake of building your community, if it's that new video for the sake of bringing new people in and growing the channel, and a bunch of other reasons too. But for those things specifically, just knowing exactly why you are putting content out can make a huge difference. And it also helps keep you in line, because, you know, if you know why you're putting content out, another thing that you're doing there is you're saying, well, these are goals that I'm trying to accomplish with each one of these videos. And then that also gives you something else to measure that is a little bit outside of just how many subscribers you have, for example, which is something that we all get caught up on sometimes. Another thing that is also important in this process that a lot of people are not talking about is it's important to educate yourself, right? Because like if you're doing all this stuff, I mean, you're experiencing it already. If you're doing all this stuff, there's a learning curve, right? You have to learn how to design. You have to learn, you know, because you're making thumbnails. You have to learn how to present on camera. You have to learn how to, you know, do all of this live streaming stuff. You have to learn, you know, how to use your actual equipment. You have to learn all of it. And educating yourself and SEO and everything, like educating yourself on all of this stuff and learning how all of this stuff works, it's part of the process. And it's like, if you want to succeed on YouTube and you really want to get results on YouTube, like if you're serious, then you have to educate yourself in all these things. You have to dedicate time to saying, okay, I'm going to watch X amount of videos, not X amount of videos. I'm going to watch videos on this particular topic until I get a good handle on it. And then I'm going to move on to the other topic. So this week, I'm going to focus on my YouTube time. I'm going to focus on watching videos on how to make thumbnails, watching videos on design, watching videos on, you know, color theory, things like that, so you can get a better understanding of how it works. And then in your educational process next, you would say, okay, now I'm going to go watch Charisma on Command, the YouTube channel Charisma on Command, so that I can learn how to make myself better on camera. I'm going to watch a bunch of videos on presenting better. I'm going to watch a bunch of videos on anything related to being on camera, because those are things that are beneficial to learn through the process, right? So educating yourself all the way across the board. SEO, you know, search engine optimization, learning how SEO works, because a lot of people think that SEO is just tags, and that's not the case at all. So learning how SEO works and saying, okay, what is each part of this particular page, right? I've got my title, I've got my description, I've got my tags. How does each part of this influence what's going to happen when I upload my video? How is each part of this going to influence if I get discovered on Google or not, if I rank in Google or not? Which one of these is going to influence if or which parts of these puzzle are the most important for making sure that I rank my videos in YouTube, for example? Educating yourself on the tools that you're using on TubeBuddy, going through all of the features, right? Instead of saying, well, I'm just going to use the tag suggestion tool, go through everything, right? You've got it. Go through the entire thing and say, okay, how does this work? And if you see something that you don't understand, I guarantee you there's a video on this channel about it, or a video on my channel about it, or a video somewhere on YouTube about it that's going to teach you how to use that particular part of the tool. So education is extremely, extremely important, because if you educate yourself, you're going to give yourself a chance, right? If you try to learn how to do all this stuff, you're going to give yourself a chance. And I know that regardless of where you're at in the process, it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming for me at times too, because, you know, like some people are just learning how to use a camera. Other people are trying to learn how to, you know, get a better email funnel together, or whatever it happens to be, depending on where you're at in the process. So it's really important that you educate yourself and that you keep educating yourself throughout the process. Another thing that is, and I'm gonna hammer on this one for a little bit. And another one that is also really, 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 really important is to create more than you consume. And I know this one sounds kind of counterproductive, especially for somebody like me, because I want you to watch my videos. But when you are educating yourself and you're entertaining yourself, that's cool. But if you are getting caught in the you know, you're getting caught in the whole, I want to watch like every YouTube video that comes out of like everybody that I know. What's going to happen is that's going to start impeding into your time so much that all of a sudden you're going to find yourself with no time at all. You're going to say to yourself, you're going to be like, oh, well, you know, this isn't, you know, like I just don't have any time. I don't know where my time went. I have no idea. I wake up and I just watch some YouTube, and the next thing you know, it's like, you know, it's my day is gone, right? So creating more than you consume is how you're going to push forward, because you can watch, and this goes back on the education one that I was talking about, like you can watch all of the videos on how to do stuff all day long, all day. You can sit there for months at a time and just watch videos on how to do everything, but until you're actually implementing all of that stuff yourself, until you're practicing, you're going through the process, you're actually picking up your camera and you're hitting all the buttons, trying to figure out how it works. You're going into the tools, hitting all the options, trying to figure out how it works. You're in your computer, in your editing software, and you're hitting all the stuff, trying to learn how it all works. You know, like that is how you learn. You can consume content all day long, but you're going to get much better results all the way across the board on everything that you are doing if you create more than you're consuming as well. Because look, and I hate to say this, but I would much rather, because you're all YouTubers, right? You're all creators. I would much rather like my stats go down from you watching my videos. I would much rather you spend that time. Don't get me wrong, come and watch my videos, the ones that apply, but I would much rather you spend that time creating your own content so you can build your own influence so that you can get, you know, everything rolling on your end, right? So just keep that in mind in terms of my voice is as soothing as a white noise machine. That's good, I think. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I'll take it as a good because I'm a positive dude. But yeah, so creating more than you're consuming is also something that is just really, really, really important. In addition to that, you also have things like the YouTube Creator Academy, right? Because with the YouTube Creator Academy, a lot of people, like anytime I mention that in a live stream here or on my channel or anywhere, there's people that say, what's the YouTube Creator Academy? Because for whatever reason, it's not as obvious as it should be inside of YouTube, and people don't know it exists. But the YouTube Creator Academy is part of the educational thing in terms of, you know, learn how to use the platform that you're on, right? If you are wanting to, you know, just like if you get a phone, right? You get a phone and you're like, hey, you know, I want to learn how to use all the features in here so I can make really cool pictures, or so I can do whatever it is that you're trying to do. The same exact thing applies here on YouTube. If you're wanting to be a content creator, a serious content creator, to where you're like, hey, I am actually thinking of like trying to do this for like a living type of thing, then you have to look at it and say, okay, this is what I'm going to be operating on. So I need to learn how this thing works, and I need to educate myself on all aspects of it. And I need to make sure that I'm creating as much as possible so that I can start creating those opportunities, because all of the opportunities that you're going to have to be prepared for, those only come if you're putting out content. So if you spend a large block of your time consuming content, then that's all time that you could take and you could create over the course of a week. You could create maybe another video to help your channel grow faster, to help you learn that process faster, to help you streamline your process faster. So it's really, really important to make sure that you're educating yourself, make sure that you're prepared for opportunities, make sure that you are, that you save, make sure that you're networking with other people, that you give your content purpose, and that you educate yourself all the way across the board. So with all that out of the way, we are going to now go into the Q&A portion of the thing here, of the show. So if you want your question answered, if you haven't yet, make sure that you go ahead and you put it down in the description below, because, see the TubeBuddy logo right there, because I'm answering those in the order that they come in. So the first question that we have here, let me refresh this, make sure that it's all new. And we actually don't have a lot of questions in here, so get in there now if you want your question answered. So Trinity K says, how do I get better at editing? Now, this comes down to, again, and Deanna Troy Travels is saying the same exact question. How do I get better at editing? So if you are, oh no, you're saying how to edit videos faster, and it applies to both of these. So To get better at editing, you're just going to have to edit a lot of videos. So you're going to have to watch some tutorials and learn how the software works, all the intricacies of the software that you're using, or at least the main parts that that you're going to use in order to accomplish what you're trying to do in your edits. You're just going to have to edit a lot. You're going to have to learn the software, and then you're going to have to edit a lot. So if you don't make a lot of content yourself, reach out to other people. If you're trying to be a really good editor, reach out to other people and offer to edit their content. I'm sure there's people in your area that would love to send you video files and have you edit them for them if you are trying to learn how to edit and get better at editing. So practice is the main way that you get better at editing. And Deanna Troy Travels, in terms of editing videos faster, same thing. You know, the more you do it, the faster that you get, because you know exactly what to look for. And you also get your overall workflow together in terms of, you know what, instead of just doing one video at a time, I'm going to shoot like 3 videos at a time. And then I'm going to import them all into the computer at the same time. And then I'm just going to drop them all into their each individual folders. And I'm actually going to drop them into folders that are template folders, where I have all of my graphics in there. I've got project files already made with all my graphics and some background music in there, my in card in there already, so that I don't have to remake that stuff all the time. And you get that workflow together to where you know to use templates with your video editing. You know the actual flow of what it is that you're doing, which makes the entire process a lot faster. Brandon Rex says, how do you go from, say, 0 to 100 subscribers? What exactly should I be looking for in growth over time? What should I do? Brandon, that's a fantastic question. And the answer to that is you have to upload. You have to keep an eye on your click-through rate on your videos, on your thumbnails. You have to keep an eye on your audience retention reports. So you want to go into your YouTube Creator Studio or your YouTube Creator Studio beta, and you want to see how people are responding to your videos. How long are they watching your videos for? You want to go into the YouTube Creator Studio beta and look at your click-through rate on your thumbnails and say, what's my conversion here? What's my click-through rate on my thumbnail? And you want to get that as high as you possibly can. The average is between 2 and 10%. Thanks for the correction on that one, Andrew, because I said 3 before. The average is between 2 and 3%, or I'm sorry, 2 and 10%. So you want to go in the higher side of that or better for your thumbnails. But at the end of the day, YouTube, it's responsive, right? It's a responsive system, so it's based on how, like, your success is based on how people respond to the content that you make all the way across the board. How long are people watching the videos? How much are people sharing it? How much are they adding it to playlist? How much are they liking it? How much are they, clicking on your thumbnails when they see them anywhere on the platform? How often are they coming back because they like your stuff? You know, all of that stuff is being accounted for, and the better you get at making all of those things happen, the better your channel is going to do. Now, since you're just starting out, one thing that you're going to have to do is you're going to have to learn, depending on the type of content that you are making. If the content that you're making supports it, and most content does, even if you think that it doesn't, it still does. But learning how to rank your videos in search is a great way to get started, get some traffic initially coming in. Another great thing to do is to join communities on Facebook and Reddit and other live streams and stuff, to where it's around the content that you make, so that when you're active in those communities, people recognize you as someone that makes that type of content. You don't want to go and spam anywhere, but what you do want to do is you want to let people know that, hey, you know, I make this type of content on YouTube. This is the stuff that I'm interested in. And then you can start, you know, getting people over to your channel that way as well. And another way is just commenting a lot on YouTube. Now, listen, do not do any like sub for sub stuff or anything like that in the comments. What you want to do is just be a normal person. Go around YouTube and use YouTube like a normal person, and leave thoughtful comments, leave comments on the video, actually watch the video, leave a comment, and give your input. And when you do that, it actually draws attention to you because you're leaving like a thoughtful response. So go around YouTube, leave a lot of comments that are like actual real life comments, not spam comments, but just real life comments of what you actually think about the content, and people will notice that, and then people will start coming and checking out your channel. Now, once they get to your channel, that's where other things really come into play. Like, you know, how subscribable is your channel? When somebody lands on your channel page, what do they see? What do they think when they first land on your channel page? Is it organized? Is it easy to understand what type of content you make? Is it easy to see a lot of your content at a glance as soon as they land on your channel page? Like, these are also things that you have to think about in the process of growing from 0 to 100 subscribers. Lily Tree, what is up? Be normal. Hashtag be normal. Absolutely. Being normal is important. Paul Peck, what's up, man? Nice to see you in here. Launchpad Astronomy. Daniel Battelle, you guys as well. CMD Tricks, how to accelerate my video to people in different countries. By accelerate, if you mean get your videos in front of people in different countries, for that you would want to use translations. That may or may not help, depending on what it is that you're putting out. Science Free Energy says, my channel has 1,000+ subscribers, congratulations, but very less views are coming in on my channel, and I use suggested tags of TubeBuddy, but there's no improvement in views and watch time, so please help. What do I do? If there's no improvement in watch time, that's on you. So what you have to do is you have to say, okay, I'm going to go into my audience retention reports, and when I'm in my audience retention reports, I'm going to see where people are leaving in my video, okay? And when I can identify where people are leaving in my video, next time I upload a video, and this is where uploading a lot, can come in handy because it gives you a lot of data quicker. But you can say, next time I upload a video, I'm going to do something a little bit different in this particular part of my video and see if I can get my audience retention higher. And then you just keep experimenting until you can get it as high as you can. YouTube specifically says that the closer to 100 that you get, 100% viewed, the closer to 100 you get, the better off that your video is going to do, the better your channel is going to do. Now, getting to that, it can be tough. But it's definitely something that you can do, and you got to figure out how to make it happen for your audience, or get close. MHD Masery, I hope I'm saying that right, says, why do my videos rarely appear on YouTube even though they are public? It's because your videos probably are not optimized properly for people to find them. I'm not sure what your actual channel is. I can't pull your channel up, but it could be something to where the titles that you're using are just things that people won't click on. The thumbnails that you're using are just not interesting. You might think they're great, but for other people, they might not be intrigued to actually click on your thumbnail. It might not be something that they care about. And the way that you're titling your videos also makes a huge difference. So if you are publishing, but you're not getting any traction anywhere, then in that particular case, that's where you might want to say, okay, what's going on? Go into your stats, look and see what's happening in your videos. How are people responding to them? And make those difficult choices of, people aren't responding to this the way that I had hoped they would. Don't think that your stuff sucks. Just think that it can be improved, right? We all suck. Just think that it can be improved, okay? And start making those changes. Uncle Dan's Dumbassery. Man, I love your name. I still love it. It's just fun to say. One of my videos is in somebody else's playlist that has nothing to do with the content of my video, worlds apart. Because of the watch time on my video has gone down because of it. And how many times, because of that, the watch time on my video is gone down because of how many times views are coming from that playlist. Is there any way I can get it removed from that playlist? Not that I'm aware of. Andrew might have some insight on that one, but from what I know, to my knowledge, you can't force your video out of a playlist. Marketing on Tap says, if your channel is relatively new and you're still growing, what info would you include or leave out of a media kit? Fantastic question. Okay, so if your channel's still growing, or you're new, or you're established, I would include your stats. I would include, if you're brand new and you're getting a little bit of traction to where you see a specific, growth rate in your horizon, then I would include that info if you're new. So it's basically saying, this is where I'm at now. Over the past, few months, I've gained, this much momentum, so to speak, in terms of your growth. So I'm projecting to be around here by this time. And this is for more long-term stuff. Like if you're looking for a long-term sponsorship, then, that information is important. But if it's just like a one-off video, then in that particular case, if you're sending it out for a one-off video, just your average views per video, your main demographics in terms of the countries of the people that are watching, the age range of the people that are watching are also extremely important to people. And really, average view count, age range, and the demographic in terms of the language or the people in what countries are seeing your stuff. Those are the main things. But also include, a little bit about yourself. This is why I make this type of video. This is why I think that I would be, good to work with your company to, promote your brand because I like what it is that you do, and so on and so forth. So include why you care about them, why, they should care about you. And then those general stats. If you go to socialbluebook.com, they give you a lot of that demographic info right there. So you'll have it at your fingertips. Of course, you can get it in your analytics too, but while you're in there getting your valuation, you can also do that. Arriva, hold on, Arriva Gilia, hope I'm saying your name right, and I know I'm not, says, when a TubeBuddy in other languages, I'm Italian. Yeah, so I'm not sure. That one would definitely be on Andrew. Launchpad Astronomy, what is up? Says, you mentioned media kits earlier. Can you share examples of what one might look like? Absolutely. We will go to Graphic River. So there's a website, and you can also find them on like Canva and stuff like that. But you can go to Graphic River. You know what? I actually don't have my... Yeah, you're not going to be able to see it there. Yeah, I was going to try to pull it up here also, but I actually don't have my desktop in this particular setup. So, so what I can tell you is go to graphicriver.net and then just type in Media Kit, and then you're gonna get some options there, like a ton of options for different Media Kit layouts. I think you also can make some free ones on Canva, but go and look on Graphic River because they have some really cool ones. Like if you don't know how to design that stuff from scratch, they have some really cool ones that will get you started. Roxana Snedeker, I hope I'm saying that right. What is your #1 tip for someone who is not great at being natural in front of a camera? So let me tell you a story, Roxana. So when I first started on YouTube, my very first video was about overcoming camera shyness, and you should go watch it. But in that video, like I made that video because I didn't want to be on camera. I wasn't good on camera, and I had to, do a bunch of practice videos that never saw the light of day, that I never published on YouTube. And my camera presence developed over time, as does everyone's. When people first start out on YouTube, unless they have experience in like acting or presenting or public speaking or something like that, everybody's a little bit rough when they first start out. So in order to get better, the only thing that can get you through that process is time and practice. So if you want to get better on camera, practice as much as you possibly can, even if it's videos that you're not going to put online. Grab your phone. If you've got 10 minutes, right? Like if you have a lunch break, for example, if you're at your job and you have a lunch break, during that lunch break, say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go and I'm going to sit outside and I'm going to selfie, and I'm just going to talk to my, camera. I'm going to set my camera somewhere, and I'm just going to sit there and talk to it and try to just think of, because you think that you're not good on camera. So you have to think, okay, this is why I'm not good on camera. And then when you're practicing, say, okay, this is what I don't like about myself on camera. So what I'm going to do is while I'm practicing, I'm going to work on making those things that I don't like, or fixing those things that I don't like, making them to where they're not a hindrance for me. But yeah, getting comfortable on camera can be a doozy because you have all this stuff that's going on in your head. It's like, one, you're not used to looking at yourself that way. Two is you're not used to hearing yourself being played back. And when you're watching yourself, like if you're in the mirror, then you're looking in the mirror and you're just kind of used to seeing that, but you're not used to seeing all the nuances of how you actually communicate because you're not sitting there communicating to yourself in the mirror. So it's a little bit weird in video format, but if you practice, then that's going to help. And speaking of the mirror, actually, another thing that will help you is if you do practice speaking out loud, not in the mirror per se, but if you practice speaking out loud, that can also really be helpful. So let's say that you're driving and you're on your way to work, or let's say you're driving, you're on your way to your friend's house. One thing that you can do is you can just practice, talk about the things that you would normally talk about in your video, and just practice speaking out loud. And doing that, you're going to get used to speaking out loud by yourself, and just like you would in front of the camera. And that's really going to help over time, because part of that process of getting used to being on camera and getting better on camera is just getting comfortable with just speaking out loud to nobody, right? Because you're just talking to the camera. So just speaking out loud to nobody is really uncomfortable. And we all get inside of our own heads, and it takes a little bit of time to actually break through that and start presenting in a more comfortable way. Dad's Den Review says, what do you think thumbnails should be uniform? I've been working hard on this, but I don't want to waste time if not necessary. I think that thumbnails should be recognizable. So in terms of being uniform, I think that depends on the type of content that you're putting out, but I think that they should be recognizable, and that there should be at least a uniform element on your thumbnails. So what I mean by that is if you look around YouTube and you look at all of the, thumbnails on YouTube, if you can have like a little thing down in the corner, like let's say that you have a little thing that pops up like right down here. Like let's say, for example, because you're looking at the screen right now, let's say, for example, just this little TubeBuddy icon right here, right? Let's say, for example, that was your thing and you just put that on all of your thumbnails, right? Whatever your particular logo looks like. You just have something relatively small to where somebody can say, oh, that's one of their videos. That can be helpful because basically one way to think of it is this. If you're putting out content, it's going to be going out in front of tons of new people. Like that's the idea. That's how channels grow. But you also want the people that are already subscribed to your channel to be able to recognize it at a glance. And by adding a uniform element or by making your thumbnails uniform, that's going to help the people that already like your content. That's going to help them be able to identify it anywhere they see it on the platform. So if you add just like a little branding mark to it, then what's going to happen is, let's say that you make fitness videos, right? And all of and I'm just winging it on the actual, this is you, Andrew. I'm just winging it on the actual topic here, but let's say that you make fitness videos, right? And let's say most of your fitness videos have imagery of people that are working out, right? And it's not you, it's not the same person. Maybe it is you, but sometimes you show like a body shot, sometimes you show an arm, sometimes you show you in the image. But if you have that mark on there, when somebody pulls up a search result or they see you recommended, next to another video, another fitness video that they're watching, or just any other video they're watching, they can tell that, yeah, this looks like a bunch of other fitness thumbnails, but this is Dad's Den Reviews. This is one of his videos, and I like his content, so I'm going to go and I'm going to click and I'm going to watch it. So it helps people be able to identify your stuff wherever it is that they see it, which will help bring regular viewers back. Out of the Box says, how can I break into an extremely competitive space like making music videos? If you're trying to break into a competitive space like making music videos, the best thing that you can do is just make awesome music videos. Because that's the cool thing with music, just in general, is... Hold on, let me get this shot while I'm saying this, because there's like a little MIDI keyboard in the shot. So the cool thing with music is that it's a creative endeavor. So the music itself, if the music is good, and if the actual music video that you're making is cool, then in that particular case, then you're going to increase your chances drastically. So one thing that you have to get together is like a distribution strategy. You have to say, okay, now I have these music videos that I'm making. Now what am I going to do to get these music videos in front of people? Right? So are we going to do covers and we're going to get people in that way? Are we going to mix covers with original music? Are we going to run ads for what it is that we're doing? Are we going to, share this stuff on Reddit to try to get that going? Are we going to share these on Facebook? Are we going to upload natively to Facebook our music videos for the people there and then just let them know that we have a YouTube channel to maybe bring some people in that way? Are we going to go hard on Twitter or Instagram and try to funnel people in that way? Like what's your approach going to be? But in terms of being, standing out in a competitive space, you just gotta make awesome stuff. You got to do, like in music, you got to say, okay, how can we separate? So like one example of this, and it's funny because I thought it was unique until I started watching a bunch of other dance channels, but like T Milligram, for example, or Milgram, T Milgram, Tilly Milgram, something like that. But like on his channel, like his was the first one that I ran across to where it's like a choreographed dance thing. Really, really cool stuff. But basically like the shot, they're in this like big warehouse space and it's got like cool lighting in it. And there's people standing around watching these people dance, but the people are dancing like at the camera, and really cool. And just how they're, basically they like push in on the camera and then they pull out, but it's all like one take stuff. Really cool. And then I was like, wow, this is so unique. No wonder they've got like 2 million subscribers. And then I got served a Asian version of that, and they've got 10 million subscribers. so they shoot it in the same exact way. They have like a studio it's not the same exact thing, but it's a pretty similar, setup. But for me, because it was such a different type of content, it really stood out for me. So when you're making your music videos, just think, okay, what can we do that can really make this stuff stand out, to really make it unique? And with that T Milligram, the main reason I brought that up is because, or T Milligram, the main reason I brought that up is because like they shoot that way all the time. The only thing they might change is like the lighting setup, or maybe they'll go from one of their studios into another, but it all has like a similar look and a similar feel to it. So if you can create a style around the music videos that you're making, that's going to help you also. The Country Outlaw Chronicles. I recently lost my home and everything to California wildfire. I'm crazy sorry to hear that. I started a channel to document my life and to have an outlet. I'm currently homeless, living on the streets. I'm looking for a free way to edit my videos on my phone. What do you recommend? Okay, so if you're going to edit videos on your phone, the very first thing that I recommend is that you go to my brother's channel. He actually has an entire channel on how to make videos on your well, I mean, it's how to master your mobile device. YouTube.com/D Nimmin, DEENIMMIN. But you can use, for free video editors on your phone, you can use KineMaster. But with KineMaster, though, you're going to have to pay like a couple of bucks to get the watermark off of there. I think Power Director is another one if you're doing this on your phone. DaVinci Resolve, Andrew said here, for PC. But yeah, if you're doing it on your phone, then you might want to go with like KineMaster or Power Director. LumaFusion is like 20 bucks, but it's a one-time fee, and then you're good like forever. And it's like a really powerful piece of software. So Pocket Video, Shelly Saves the Day is saying, is also another good solution for you. All right. Launchpad Astronomy says, a friend of my niche streams a show on his channel and my channel simultaneously to reach both audiences. Do you know if double streaming is going to get us killed for duplicate content? Yes. I would not do that anymore, because basically you're streaming the same exact content out to both channels. So I would definitely not do that. I would not do that another time. Dirty Rice Off-Road says, what are your thoughts on pushing 360-degree videos? Is it still too new of a format to use? Personally, I love the format and I shoot a lot of it. I get good responses in the comments, but audience retention still seems pretty low for them. If you enjoy making that type of content and you're getting a good response in the comments, that's cool. But if you are getting very low audience retention on them and it's hurting those videos a lot, then you might want to make other types of content that will bring people in. And then since you enjoy making the 360-degree videos, put those videos out anyway, but use the other stuff to bring in people that enjoy your content in general, but then just drop the 360 videos on them as something special. So like, let's say, for example, that you do 8 videos a month, maybe make 3 of them a 360 video, or half it, right? Instead of putting out all of them that way. Twisted HD says, what kind of video should I upload after Article 13? I do gaming and movie videos, so game and movie essays, please help. Yeah, so you're definitely going to have to, because you're doing like movies and stuff. Yeah, you are probably going to have to change the type of content that you are making. Now, in terms of the exact details of exactly, what's getting hit where, I don't know those details, but yeah, you're probably going to have to make some alterations in your content. Bayantros Gaming says, how can I get more views on my videos? A fantastic way is to optimize those videos for search. Because if you optimize your videos for search, then that's basically a doorway that you're creating into your channel. Also make just awesome thumbnails and titles. And I know it sounds easy, but using TubeBuddy's A/B testing feature, they can help you fine tune which thumbnails are more effective for you and which thumbnails don't really do much for you. So I would start using the A/B testing tool. It basically just lets you compare thumbnails against each other. And I would also make sure that you're optimizing your videos for search. And of course, if you are getting good retention on your videos and people are clicking on your thumbs, then what's going to happen is you are going to get more views, because YouTube is going to start showing your stuff to more people if people are responding to it positively. All right, that's it for the questions. So we only had 17 questions in here. So if you've got any questions, whoa, one just popped up. I was gonna say, if you have any questions, make sure you get them in the thing here. 30-day reviews. Is a drop in viewers at the very beginning of a video common on the viewer retention? Thanks. Yes, it is, but a lot of that also comes to the expectation when somebody clicks on a video, the actual intent that they have when they click on the video. So like, for example, somebody clicks on one of my videos on like how to do stuff, then I'm going to get a little bit of a drop because of whatever reason. Let's say that people don't like how I just get right up in the camera. Maybe people don't, I'm an older guy, so maybe people look at it, kids might look at it and say, oh, well, this is like an older guy. What does he know? And then they close it out, or for whatever reason, yes, you'll get those. But If you do something like really shocking at the beginning of your video, that can definitely help. But yeah, like a little bit of a drop is definitely normal. Now, the problem is if your video opens and let's say this is 100%. Let me change this here. Let's say that this is 100% right up here at the top. And, you know, the video opens and then you're like all the way down to like 25%, like right away. And then you go and then you taper off from 25% there, then that's bad. You definitely have some fixing to do. But if you can catch it around, you know, like 80%, 70%, you know, somewhere up in there, if you can catch that drop and then ride it out a little bit and let it taper off from there, then you're definitely going to do better. Stephen Dumala says, what are your thoughts on the just released autoplay of videos on the homepage of mobile? I think it's fine. I think it gives, I think it gives a little bit of insight into what the video content is about, which is cool. So basically just like the hover previews that they had before, I think it's definitely something cool because it gives people a little bit of insight into the content that they're going to be clicking on. So this is another one of those cases. I've always been somebody that's carried the flag for visual authority. It's something I call visual authority, and that basically means everything that you put out in terms of the content, like the actual video quality, should be as good as you can handle. The audio should sound as good as possible, which isn't going to matter in this autoplay thing. But you know, like all your channel art, graphics, all that stuff should look pro. And the reason for that is if somebody's scrolling over a video, then they're gonna be making decisions. They're not scrolling, but if it's autoplaying, they're gonna be making decisions on if they're gonna click this and watch that video or not. And if you have like horrible lighting, or if there's nothing really going on in your video, then people are going to be less likely to click on it because there's not going to be anything going on. But if they're getting an autoplay and it's like, wow, this looks like this looks like an interesting video, I'm going to click on this, and you try to make it more interesting, a little bit, something that's a little bit more dynamic, then you can use it to your advantage. AliX is saying it's official. Nick does not sleep. Sleep? Who needs sleep? No, I definitely do sleep. I just went to sleep late last night. Let's see here. So next up on the questions here says, I wish I had some help with some of these things on my channel. I fumbled my way to where I'm at successfully, but I'd like it to continue into the tens of thousands. Yeah, so if you are looking for help on those things, True Stories with Miss Sherry, like on YouTube, you can just look. Hey, these are things that I need to, and this is one of the things that I mentioned earlier in terms of, some of the things that people aren't talking about. And one of those things was to educate yourself, right? Educate yourself on the technology that you're using, educate yourself on design so that you can make better channel art, better thumbnails, things that people respond to. You can learn how to properly use color. Educate yourself on optimization in terms of SEO, search engine optimization, in terms of optimizing your descriptions of your videos, in terms of optimizing your channel page for a better presentation when people land on your channel page. Let's see here. Go back up to this one. Bam. And presentation and all that stuff, because educating yourself on all this makes a huge difference, because, the more you know, the better off your chances are of success on this stuff. So, like, you do have help, but that help is in the form of video content that you are going to have to take the time to watch, so that you can, learn how to get the best results out of what it is that you are doing. Let's see here. Paul Peck is telling Addicted to Profit to put a value proposition and a call to action within the first 30 seconds of your video. I also would recommend that. Sometimes it causes a big improvement or a small improvement. Other times it doesn't. So you're going to have to test it out. It seems to come down to what it is that you actually say. So like if you're putting your value proposition in there and you're putting a call to action at the beginning of your video, that can definitely help, but you have to make sure that you're structuring that sequence properly. So like, for example, like when you click into my videos, right, one of the first things I say is I'm like, if you want to learn how to grow your channel, make videos and all types of other YouTube related stuff, because I know my audience, I know who my audience is, I know what it is that they're trying to do, I know the hurdles that they're trying to overcome, the walls that are in front of them, so to speak. So I put those in front of them and I'm like, hey, if you want to learn how to grow your channel, of course I want to learn how to grow my channel. Make videos, yeah, I want to know how to make better videos, and all types of other YouTube related stuff. Wow, he does a lot of stuff on YouTube. then start now by subscribing and clicking the bell, and then I follow that. That gave me a huge boost in my view to subscribe ratio on my videos. So I really recommend it. I've also seen that boost happen across client videos. I've also seen it work negatively on videos as well, or on channels as well. So that's why it's important to make sure that you are testing exactly what it is that you say to make sure that you fine-tune that sequence, so to speak. Yeah, Paul Peck is saying it's helped his channel tremendously. Yeah, it can really make a big difference if you say everything, you know, the right way. It can really make a big difference. Let's see here. 30-day review says I need a graphic like that he keeps putting up as a separator. Do you mean this? Or do you mean this? Let me see if we got any more questions in here. There we go. We got some more questions in here. That's what I'm talking about. Samurai Kabiji. Cool that you're a samurai. I just want to go ahead and say that. That's pretty awesome. Being a samurai. I'd like to be a samurai. What if you were really struggling to nail your niche and commit? I have types of videos that perform great, but the ones I'm most passionate about perform the worst. Guess it becomes a question of being for growth or fun, huh? Absolutely it does. And that's one of the things, because I'm actually working on a course right now with TubeBuddy, and one of the things that I talk about in that course is there's an entire section on figuring out exactly what it is that you are trying to accomplish, because decisions like this are based on, like, the right decisions are based on what it is that you're trying to accomplish on your channel. So, for example, in your particular case, Samurai, I'm just going to call you Samurai because it's cool. But in your particular case, like, if you are trying to become a full-time content creator to where it's like, hey, I'm trying to get my channel big, I'm trying to monetize my channel, I'm trying to turn this into like an asset, right? I want to be like a content creator on all the different platforms. Then in that particular case, the decisions that you need to make are going to be based around, hey, I enjoy making this content. I enjoy making this content over here better, but I enjoy making this content that does still help my channel grow. So I'm going to focus on this to kind of surge everything up. And then I'm going to sprinkle in the ones that I'm like really passionate about. But I'm going to focus on the content that's going to get me to my goal. And then I'm going to sprinkle in the other stuff for just to have the creative outlet. But if people aren't responding to it, then you gotta think about that too. If people aren't responding to it, then that means that they're not liking it. So you know, putting it on your channel might not be the best place for it. Fit Mama Tata. That's a fun one to say. What's up, Fit Mama Tata? Recently, I watched a live TubeBuddy and was sent a link on making a good title. Can you please resend me that link? I'm not sure what that link was. I'm not sure. Andrew may have some insight on that. I have no idea what that particular thing was here. Johnny, Self-Mastery Mentoring, says, does adding a video location advanced setting make any difference in reach? If you're trying to target a local market for something, let's say, for example, that you are a plumber. And let's say that you are a plumber in a specific area, in a specific city or state, which of course, obviously you would be. Then in that particular case, if you're trying to rank your videos for local search so that people can find you and hire you, then in that particular case, yes, you definitely want to use your locations. Delton Does Game says, I understand that analytics will give me a clue as to what I need to change. They'll tell you everything, but I've never been able to figure out exactly what the problem is with any given metric. How do I learn about what to do with that? To me, it seems so subjective or too video specific, but that might just be where I'm at now. It is video specific, and it's definitely, you know, it definitely will vary from video to video, and that's why practice and putting out videos is important, because basically what you want to do through the process, like through that learning curve, right, is you want to start figuring out, every time I do this, right, across all of my videos, every time I do this, people leave. Or most of the time when I do this, people stop watching in this particular part. Or you want to say, huh, interesting, when I pull graphics up on the screen for whatever reason, that seems to hold people or not. Right? And then you basically just start looking for these patterns across everything it is that you're doing. Maybe you go into a particular sequence to where you don't have any breaks and you're just sitting there steamrolling, and for whatever reason, people just don't respond to that. So that tells you, hey, in this particular area in all my videos, I just sit here and I just steamroll for a while. And for whatever reason, during those steamroll segments, people start leaving the video. Therefore, I now know that I need to break that up a little bit. Maybe I need to slow down. Maybe I need to change my pace a little bit, you know. But you start looking for those patterns. Peter Contour says, what cam and lens do you use? This right here is actually a Logitech C922 webcam. This one isn't really adjusted properly, but this one is a Brio, a Logitech Brio webcam. And my main camera is, for this standing setup that you see back here, is a Canon 80D with an 18 to 135 kit lens on it. And then I also have, for when I'm in this particular setting, where I put the camera right over, it actually goes right over here. That one is a Sony a6500 with a 16 millimeter 1.4 Sigma lens. Green Leaf City Video Gaming says, can custom thumbnails help 100% of the time? I guess nothing is 100%, because just in case that one shot just ends up just nailing it. You know, I guess there's no absolutes, so to speak, in terms of saying that if you don't use a custom thumbnail, you won't get views, because that one perfect shot could get nailed and that could bring in a lot of views. So I would say no, but I would say that 99.9% of the time, yes. Embalato says, I'm struggling to get 10,000 subscribers, and I've noticed that even using the keyword planner and paying ads all over here, I didn't get good results. My videos got over 1,000 likes, and I have 2,800 views every 48 hours. Is there any... Whoa, that one just left. Okay, that one just disappeared. That was weird. Hold on, I'm not sure what happened there. That might have been on me. Hold on really quick. So yeah, you're basically saying if there's any advice for you to where they are... let me get back here to 23, 20, 21, 22, 23. Nope, that's not it. So it was just number 24 that was gone. Yeah, okay, so any advice? So if you are, if you're, hey, what's up, Brian G. Johnson? So if you are trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, you're running ads, and all of that, then what you need to think about is, one, are the ads that you're running, are you targeting those correctly? Two, you also can't expect all of the people that are coming in from ads, you can't expect them to subscribe, because that you're basically putting content in front of people that aren't necessarily looking for your specific content, depending on how you target it. Now, if you go for like discovery ads to where they're actually searching for stuff, and then you come up as one of the results there, because you're paying for those spots, then in that particular case, you're gonna get a better conversion out of that than you will just having your video play before somebody else's video, unless you make amazing content. So I would consider looking at who it is that you are targeting, instead of saying, well, it's not working for me, because ads do work. It's just figuring out, who it is that you're actually putting your ads in front of. All right, Andrew, got it. Yeah, so here for these next 3 minutes, I'm just going to hop into the chat because the responses are done there. I'll go ahead and just turn that puppy off. Oh, no, I won't, because there's number 24. Boom. What would you say is a kind of safe zone radius away from a shotgun mic? I'm thinking about switching away from my Boya BY-M1, but I don't want to waste money on a shotgun mic if I stand too far away. So if I was shooting this video right now, Uncle Dan, if I was shooting this video right now, I would literally have the microphone right here. Like, I would be able to go up and I would be able to touch it. Boom, boom, right there. So it's essentially about this far away from me when I'm recording my videos. So so you want to get it as close to you as possibly can. D Nimmin in the house. What is up, man? Closing time. So yeah, so I would definitely get your shotgun mic as close to you as humanly possible. So what you want to look into is you want to get a boom mic stand, or some type of stand to where you can either put it under to where it's just out of the frame here, or it's just out of the frame up here, so that when you're presenting your content, it's as close to you as humanly possible. Yeah, without being in the frame, for sure. Yeah, so we got hashtag closing time in here, so we're down to 2 minutes. So I'm going to see, this is the lightning round. Let's see here. Deanna Troy Travel says, thank you, Nick. This channel is so helpful. Absolutely, it is helpful. And if you are watching this and you have not installed TubeBuddy yet, you need to. It's the #1 browser plugin for YouTube content creators. Helps you learn to tag your videos, do keyword research so you can rank your videos and search properly. Helps you compare your thumbnails against each other so you can make sure that the thumbnails that you're making are effective. Just an awesome tool all the way around. So if you don't have it, make sure that you install it at tubebuddy.com/install right there. Boom. We got 30-day reviews in here representing the Nimminati. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right. So thank you, everybody that hung out for the chat today, for everybody that hung out for the live stream. I hope you learned something out of the list of things that people are not telling you about being a YouTuber. If you missed the first part of this video, the first part of the stream, make sure that you go back and watch it, because there's some really good information there that will help you make sure that you are doing the right things and that you're properly getting things ready as your channel grows, to make sure that you can fully capitalize on what's going to happen to your channel here on YouTube. So thank you so much for watching. Again, my name is Nick. There's a link to me down in the description below. So if you are not familiar with me or you're not subscribed to my channel yet, make sure you go down and you check that out if you want to learn how to grow your channel, make videos, and all types of other YouTube-related stuff. And again, thank you so much for watching. I will see you